Hello, this is Grant, and welcome back to another episode of Dead Rising 1 MasterRun. It's going to be a nice, quick, short one here, and we're going to wrap up 72-hour mode. So, this is basically going to be everything till the end, where the helicopter arrives at noon on the last day. It's going to be pretty sparse, so we're going to cut some things. I never quite got to get ending A. You need to be back here to talk to Isabella at 10 a.m., but I don't think they tell you that. I don't quite know. I know there's been plenty of times I just missed that. And then I had to go look it up, I think. And then it says, oh, well, she'll talk to you like one last time, and there's a cutscene, I think. And then you go to the helicopter. I don't know. A little odd thing. What's important now, though, is this is like your last chance to get a lot of items before they will disappear in overtime mode. A big one is the small chainsaw. Any of the boss weapons, they're all going to be gone. So it's a great time to go in, make sure you get a fresh one. Due to those 3 books, our chainsaw's going to last long enough that we don't need to worry about losing it in overtime mode. You'll notice now that all the zombies are dead, with the exception of the maintenance tunnels and the park, where there is now a helicopter shooting at us. So, yeah. It's a big change from what it was. I guess the park's all about annoying vehicles shooting at you really fast. Because they're not... The helicopter's quite a step up from the convicts. It's got rockets. That's a lot better than a dude with a baseball bat who always misses. Or worse, I suppose, depending on your circumstances. It's really weird just seeing how still it is. And I talked in the last episode, I think that's meant to be a thing. They don't play any music. You don't see anyone. It's just dead quiet. Everything's gone. No one's there. It's really eerie. So, some of these things bleed together. I think there's no military here either. I don't know where they're at. They're probably regrouping. Once the military is present, you can get captured by them, and that's one way to end. Is you'll be taken away. And there's a little mini game where they tie you up. I have some footage of it I might post after this series is done. Of all the things I missed, quote unquote. But basically, if you know to roll the stick, it's pretty easy to get out. It's like there's 2 guys watching you, and you need to slowly break out of their cuffs while they're turned away. It's kind of neat. But if you... What is nice is, if you get caught, they knock you out and you lose a couple hours. So in a way, it's a good way to let some time pass. So like if you know there's like 24 hours or something crazy left, I don't know how big it is, you can go get captured and then just have them knock you out a couple times. And all of a sudden, boom, it'll be like, time to go. So here we're heading over to get on the helipad. One thing that has burned me many times is you need to be on the literal helipad for the game to give you the right ending. If you're I thought just being in the area would be like sufficient, because knowing that is for most scoops and cases in this game is you just have to enter the area, like just enter the safe room. I guess to be fair, it's not always that way. There is a lot of couple where you need to be like, in this, like, Kent, you need to go over to his area to trigger him and stuff. But, yeah. Here we are, we're going to cut forward here till we'll see Ed DeLuca with his helicopter coming to save us. Just a moment of tension here. And boom. He came back.
I'll be damned.
He makes a quote here
That son of a bitch
about getting paid. I think it's important.
must mean he got his scoop. I can't wait to get my share of the take.
I think that's a big point that wasn't clear. Is that I believe he was promised a percentage of it by Frank, and that's what gets him to come back. It's not just, oh, here, I'll pay you up front, this big lump sum. There's like a reason he's going to risk it to come back and get him. Which is kind of neat. I wish that was a little bit more clear, because I think everyone I ever talked to, they assume that there's no way he's going to come back. How did he even sneak in? I guess to be fair, I don't think they're actually looking for helicopters to be flying in. But I don't know. It's kind of cool. This can play out a couple different ways depending on what cases you did. and whatnot, like whether or not Jesse and Brad are going to be alive. I originally was debating like whether or not I should do the cases, because if I was going to do just strictly all survivor run, well then it would be nice if Brad and all those guys were alive, because then I could literally have every survivor. But that means not completing cases, which I thought was a way better thing to include. So it appears a zombie snuck onto his helicopter while he was down there. Which I guess isn't surprising. This would be his first experience with zombies, other than what he's seen. But as we'll see later on, he crashed over in the park. And looks like your hopes are pretty grim. I know this is for like a thematic point, but where did these zombies come from? There's none on the helipad. Plus, the military just went through and killed all of them. So was there just like one little closet of zombies that just got opened by that explosion shockwave or something? I don't know. I think it's just more, it's mainly for continuity. But, alright, end of the game. Here are our stats. We got 49 survivors, which is as many as we can get, given the case. I thought about, we end up getting level 50 by the end of overtime mode. If I really wanted to, you can farm the military. But yeah. That wraps up the main one. I will go into overtime mode, so look for that. And we'll finish up what we started. This is Grant. And don't take your master run for granted.